on to another Gitty Gang Show. I believe the 186th.
186.
186.
Near as we can tell.
We'd have to go back through the scripts to see how many of them now Danny's been with us for, but it seems like quite a few.
Well, I started in what?
Well, how long's Glenn been gone?
I started before he left.
Yeah. Anyway, we're glad you're here with us today. We've got some great videos to share with you. I'll have your comments pulled up just as soon as I remember to do so. It's a hot Friday. A little bit of a heat spell up here in New Hampshire. I know we're not alone in that. A lot of the country having a bit of a heat spell right now. Speaking of people used to heat, we've got some good friends in the state at the moment. And he's out there, tuned in, Mr. Jimbo Burt. Good to see you out there, buddy.
Good afternoon. Probably nothing to him.
Yeah, he's up in the White Mountains there. Him and his wife Diane going to be with us here on the Gitty Gang Show next week, I believe. A couple of the announcements. If you watch every week, then these will sound a little familiar. The Pennsylvania Cigar Box Guitar Festival coming up in 2 weeks from tomorrow is when that kicks off down there in York, Pennsylvania. On the 28th, Saturday, the Georgia International Cigar Box Guitar Festival down there near Atlanta, McDonough, Georgia, happening on September the 11th this year, and the Huntsville Cigar Box Guitar Fest having its, I believe, 17th year this year down there in Huntsville, Alabama, also on the September the 11th down there in Huntsville. So a lot of good stuff going on. Yeah, Jim Campbell says, wow, 186. I agree.
And that's only of the Gitty Gang Show.
Yeah, we had the whole
The
Cigar Box
Show
Nation TV before that. All sorts of stuff been going on for over 5 years now. We've been doing these live broadcasts, I think. 2016 was when we
Almost as long as I've been.
kicked it off. So anyway, we're glad. We've got some great video for you to share today. Shane Spiel went above and beyond, putting together another What's the Deal with Spiel episode, talking about a tenor lele or a tenor ukulele kit that he recently finished that was took a little bit of time for him to figure out what exactly he wanted that build to be. I see Bert's on the road on the script. Do we have pictures or video or anything? No? Just to mention? Bert's on the road.
No, I
yeah.
think that was from last week.
Oh, okay. A holdover from last week. Well, as we mentioned, Jim Burt and his wife Diane up here in the great Northeast, getting some good hot weather up there in the White Mountains today, and gonna go up and see our good buddy Marty Tolber up there and some other folks, and be with us here next Friday on the Gitty Gang Show. We might launch next week's show an hour early because Scott and Betsy Heron of Green Heron are going to be with us, and they've got another gig at 3:30. So to be able to get as much picking and grinning in as we possibly can, we're thinking we'll kick it off at 2 next week.
Oh boy!
So they won't have to run right out the door just as we get going, and it'll be a good old time. So looking forward to that. It's been a while since at this time. Yeah, hopefully it won't be as hot next Friday as it is today. It's about 94.
I think it's supposed to drop down to 70s.
94-ish out there, and that's pretty warm. Oh, and this time we got to remember to get them to sign the stage. Pretty much everybody else who's played on this stage, except you.
Yeah.
You haven't signed it yet. But anyway, the visiting musicians who come in have a tradition of signing the Juke Shack stage, so we got to remember to do that. So, why don't you, Danny's got another, this is an original, right?
Yep,
He's
brand new original.
Another brand new original.
Well, if you saw my Facebook or YouTube channel, you'll have heard it. But
Well, new to us, how about that?
Oh, yeah.
And you're gonna be shocked to discover it's about a train.
Yeah, I think I'm getting in a rut. That's all right.
It's just a little bit on rails. It's fine.
All right, ready?
Truss Rod Cradle.
Truss Rod Cradle is the name of it. And that's refers to not a guitar truss rod, but if you ever look at old pictures of old freight passenger cars or cabooses, they used to have a metal bar underneath kind of shaped like this. and that was called a truss rod. And
Yep.
those are the old wooden cars, and hobos used to like to ride
the rods.
Riding the rods. That's
That
where
was not the preferred place to ride.
No.
If you were riding the rods, you were pretty low down, we'll say
Yeah.
that. They preferred to
Pun
ride the
intended.
blinds, which are the front ends of the baggage cars,
Yep.
or inside a boxcar, or up in a reefer hole, or even on the roofs of the old box cars. But if you had to hold on to them rods while that train's hurtling along at 70 miles an hour on a cold winter night, if you lose your grip, you're
Yep.
pretty much done for.
Yep.
So anyway, why don't you sing this song, Danny?
All right. Ready?
Sure. Oh, you're not playing at all?
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
We
Yeah, I
were
thought
working,
it over.
we were working the arrangement out just before the show.
It's that new.
I thought you were just gonna drop the guitar when it was time to.
Yeah, heck with it. Let's do.
Found his headgear, so.
Well, once I could buy me a ticket to ride aboard a train, but luck bought a ticket out of my life. Now I ride under a boxcar for rain. I cling for a life that went down bound, just inches above a rushing rail. Life in another world awaits me, should the grip of these worn-out hands fail. Rock me, truss rod cradle, boxcar floor above me. I might name you after a lady, just to make pretend somebody loves me. Rock me, truss rod cradle, in your arms I won't feel so alone. I'll imagine his train is rolling to somewhere to come. Everyone from the police to the woman I thought loved me, they've let me know. You're a man and you ain't making money, you know damn good, and you've gotta go. I once had a taste of a good life, now a taste but still handouts and booze. Say a man ain't supposed to cry, but what face have I left to lose? Rock me, truss rod cradle, boxcar floor above me. I might name you after a lady, just to make pretend somebody loves me. Rock me, truss rod cradle, in your arms I won't feel so alone. I'll imagine his train is rolling somewhere to call home. Rock me, truss rod cradle, boxcar floor above me. I might name you after a lady, just to make pretend somebody loves me. Rock me, truss rod cradle, in your
progress. Thank
Hey,
you.
buddy. As Nick pointed out, Danny here has a Facebook profile and a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And if you like what you hear, you should look him up on there and give him a like or a follow.
Yeah, I'm not super active on either one, but
You're more active than I am, personally.
yeah.
And they're talking about turning plywood chain into a coin-op, a coin-op dispenser of wisdom. That sounds wonderful.
I just thought he was gonna mount an amp in his head.
Yeah, cut out the mouth, put an amp in there, and it'll
Shane, we could do that.
be
We
just
have
like the
amp
real
board.
thing. We have the technology, by God. Well, we've got a video now for you from our good buddy Kale. He's doing a song, Dead Flowers. And you'll notice something does he look a little different in this particular video?
No, he's still got long hair.
No. All right. Well, he
Moment of
recently
silence for Kale's hair.
he recently underwent a bit of a change.
He donated it.
I haven't seen the new look yet.
You donated it?
No.
Oh,
Donated it to someone in need. Anyway, a good cause. Here's Kale doing Dead Flowers.
So howdy folks, happy Sunday morning. You know, this song I'm about to do, I'm going to do here on the old 3-string cigar box guitar. And the funny thing about this, I used to play this one several years ago. I went through a little phase where I was playing it. And I would play it on a 6-string because I thought it needed those big, 6-string chords to sound kind of rich and embellished. And just for the heck of it, I was kind of thinking about what should I play this week? And I grabbed this 3-string and played it. And I was surprised it sounds really good. So let's do this tune on the 3-string today, why not? This is originally a Rolling Stones tune. It's been covered by a lot of different people. It's called Dead Flowers. Here we go. When you're sitting there in your silk upholstered chair and talking to them rich folks that you know, well, I hope you all see me in my ragged company, 'cause you know I could never be alone. But take me down, little Susie, take me down. I know you think you're the queen of the underground. Send me dead flowers every morning. Send me dead flowers by the name. Send me dead flowers at my wedding. And I won't forget to put roses on your grave. When you're sitting back in your rose pink Cadillac, making bets on Kentucky Derby Day, I'll be in my basement room with a needle and a spoon. It's another girl to take this pain away. So take me down, little Susie, take me down. I know you
welcome back, and thank you to Kale for sending that in. Doing good work over there as always. So Shane, Shane Spiel and I, we talk a lot throughout the week about all sorts of crazy things. Well, he reminded me a little earlier this week of a project I had done several years ago, and we talked about it back when I was doing it, or maybe it's more than several years now, but basically the concept was building instruments out of single pieces of dimensional lumber. So imagine a 2x4, about yay long. You wouldn't look at it and think musical instrument. Now of course 2x4 lap steel diddly bow, sure, but you wouldn't so much think like guitar. Well, I got a wild hair across something and decided to see if I could turn a 2x4 into a guitar with an actual hollow body for an acoustic sound without using any other wood from any other source. And this is, well, it's not the first one I did. The first one I think we finally got rid of. It was pretty rough, had an old piece of yellow pencil for the bridge. This is the second version I did, and instead of a pine 2x4 I used one of the fancy cedar 2x4s for this. Sounds pretty good. Now the frets are right into the neck there. That neck is pretty thick. It's very light because that western cedar wood that they use for these is very light wood. So it looks pretty cool. I don't know if I even put linseed oil on it because it still mostly smells like cedar. So why don't we do a little something on this? How about an old hymn, an old spiritual there? Well, as you can hear there, it's got a fairly strident sound with these high, what I would call a folk set of strings on there. Now you could throw a lower set of strings on there and get a little growlier sound. Jim Bird asking what's it tuned to? Good old GDG on this one, open G. So after building this one, and by the way, I was going through some old files today. As I was building this one, I photographed it every step of the way with the full intention of creating a how-to guide and perhaps even a kit for it. And now that I have found that, I think it's time to dust that off and bring it to fruition, because it's a pretty cool project. I'll briefly walk you through. So as I say, this started as a single 2x4, and if you look close, you see the line here and the line there. That marks the boundary of that original 2x4. So what I did was, I marked it and I cut 2 parallel lines in the side of that 2x4 up to about here, and then cut it out, and that formed the hollow in there. So I basically had 2 panels at that point, kind of like that, running up to about there. And then the neck I cut here and here, because originally this was the full width of a 2x4, right? So I cut this piece off and that piece off, and those cut-offs formed this edge, the butt edge, and this edge to enclose that hollow space. And that made my sound box. I then of course notched the headstock. I didn't thin the neck down at all. That's a full 1.5 inches right there, which was the original 2x4 thickness. Mounted the tuners, fretted right into that western cedar. Took a little bit of super glue to keep those frets in there, because that is quite a soft wood. Used some old round head nails for fret markers. A little piece of scrap 2x4 for the bridge. Throw some strings on there, and she was done. So I think that's a pretty neat little project that needs to be revived. So after I did that with the 2x4, I said to myself, Self, what about 2x6s? What about 2x8s? Well, turns out
2x2.
this was a no 2x2s. This is a 2x6 ukulele scale. This one has nylon strings on it instead of steel. Same basic concept in the construction. Now, I was looking at the photos I took of building the 2x4 guitar, and I show a handsaw making that long, wide cut.
That didn't look good.
No, that was just for show, because of course I used a big bandsaw to do it in one fair go. So this one I think is a maybe 17-inch scale, maybe 15-inch ukulele. Nylon strings, as I said. So yeah, that one worked out pretty good. I was pretty happy with how that came out. So then I'm like, what about 2x8? And this kind of looks like a pizza paddle almost. This was built using a 2x8, little longer scale. This one might be 19-inch. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting possibilities there. Now, you know, you're not going to build a Martin or a Taylor or anything that sounds anything like that doing this way, but it's fun, and you know what? This will never sound like a Martin, but I guarantee you, a Martin will also never sound like this. So. I also, you can see I decorated a little bit with some stenciling, danger high explosives, no open flames, no smoking. So Steve Neff's out there, Dan, saying, give your folks a hug.
Hi, Steve. How you doing?
Hey, very nice.
he's a family friend of ours.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I do want to say hello to everybody out there. I saw Sue Messias joined in. Good to see you. Gary J. Shane Spiel, of course. Rob Roble saying he's getting some ideas. There's a light bulb. I can't tell if the light bulb's on, but with Rob it usually is. So Michael Bow out there, good to see you. William Sneed, Michael Capato, I think I saw Matt Simpson pop in out there a minute ago. Magic Daddy down there. Louis Lamana, good to see you, buddy. We're always happy. Jim Morris, to see so many names that we love to see. Keith Rierick out there. By God, makes it a good day.
Kale's over on YouTube.
Kale on YouTube. So I was getting a little help with Unclouded Day. I don't know if you saw me looking down. From my giant complete edition Old Time and Bluegrass songbook, where everything in there, which you can't see because of the light glare.
Read the lyrics as you sing. I never do that.
No, that's cheating. All tabbed out for 3-string open G cigar box guitar or open D. Anything that's tuned 151, this would work for. And a lot of the good old traditional bluegrass and old time favorites. Bury Me Beneath the Willow. Don't this road look rough and rocky? Darlin' Nellie Gray.
That must be a song about roads in Lebanon.
Yeah. Honey in the Rock, bunch of good old spirituals and old time folk murder ballads. A lot of good stuff in here. And it was on my mind, actually Unclouded Day was on my mind because now that the Sea Shanty Mandolin tab songbook is done and to the publisher and available on Amazon now, I've turned my attention back to finishing my Strummer songbook for all of these bluegrass and old time. And the strummers are the ones with the chords, the lyrics, guitar chords, and no tap. It's just for strumming along with it. So, blah, blah, blah. Things happening. All right. Should we go right into Shane? Or do we want to lead up to him with the little Ron Benway? Well, Shane's in this video too, I guess. This video, it's Ron doing an old song called Country Death. Well, it's not that old. It's by the Violent Femmes. Although I possibly could be considered classic rock at this point.
Yeah.
The stuff they're calling classic rock these days.
Yeah. I remember hearing Pearl Jam for the first time on a classic rock station.
What?
I remember hearing Huey Lewis on the news on an oldie station
God help us.
for the first time, and I'm like, no, I'm not ready for that.
It's hell getting old. But anyway, here's Ron doing Country Death song. This was during our 13 Dead Men concert that we did a few years back, where it was Shane, myself, Ron, and AJ Gaither, and we just kind of went around the circle on the old mill stage doing murder ballads and songs about people dying, and we had quite a count of how many we killed off by the end of that one. But anyway, here's Ron Benway doing things as only Ron can do them.
We good? I'll shut my mouth and let Ron do his thing.
It's a Violent Femme song. I had me a wife, I had me some daughters. I tried so hard, I never knew still waters. Nothing to eat and nothing to drink. Nothing for a man to do but sit around and think. Nothing for a man to do but sit around and think. Well, I'm thinking and I'm thinking till I'm nothing I ain't felt. I'm breathing in the state till finally I stuck. 'Cause at that time I swear I lost my mind. Started making plans to kill my own kind. Started making plans to kill my own kind. Come, little daughter, I said to the youngest, put on your coat, we'll go have some fun. We'll go out to the mountains, the ones to explore. Her face lit up, she was standing by the door. Her face lit up, I was standing by the door. Come, little daughter, I will carry the lanterns. We'll go out tonight, we'll go out to the cabin. We'll go out tonight and go to the caves. Kiss your mother goodnight and remember that God saves. Kiss your mother goodnight and remember that God saves. to a hole, a deep dark well. I said make a wish, make sure not tell, and close your eyes, dear, and count to 7.
Million Papa loves you, good children go to heaven. Million Papa loves you, good children go to heaven.
Take it, Shane! I gave her a push, I gave her a shove. I pushed with all my might, I pushed with all my love. I threw my child into a bottomless pit. She was screaming as she fell, but I never heard her head. She was screaming as she fell, but I never heard her head. Gather round, boys, to the tale that I tell. You wanna know how to take a short trip to hell? It's guaranteed to get your own place in hell. Just take your lovely daughter and push her in the well. Take your lovely daughter and push her in the well. Don't speak to me of lovers with a broken heart. You wanna know what will really tear you apart? I'm going to the bar with never stopping pain. Going to the bar to hang myself in shame. So that's two.
Well, that was certainly quite a night there that we had with the 13 Dead Men concert. And as Shane so nicely pointed out there in the comments, that was a little far along in the evening, and yes, it was a good time. So while that was playing, we were talking about the video, the What's the Deal with Spiel video that Shane has put together for this week, and he's going to be talking a lot and showing off what the creation that he concocted, starting from our tenor ukulele kit that we call the tenor lele. Now, there's something about this kit. I mean, it makes an awesome little tenor uke, no question. Straight out of the box, you can paint it, decorate it, whatever you want. But there's something about this kit that I think just kind of compels you to branch out from that and to try something different. Of course, you'll see what Shane did with his branch out. This is an example of the kit. This is the one I actually built to create the how-to guide. And I restrung it, as I've mentioned before, with steel strings, mandolin tuning, so that I can kind of play it like a 4-string octave mandolin. So anyway, here we go with Shane. Now this is 16 minutes of Shane goodness here. He's showing off his special tenor uke build. He's talking about some other uke projects, all sorts of good stuff. So when we come back, Danny has thought of another song to do there on the time clock guitar, and I'll be playing along on my modified tenor lele kit.
Hi, I'm Daniel Holbert, and you're watching What's the Deal with Spiel.
What's the deal with Spiel?
What's the deal with Spiel?
What's the deal with Spiel? Well, what's the deal with this ukulele? This is Angel. I'll call it Angel because it looks like an angel. It started out as a CB Gitty tenor lele kit. ukes before we get into Angel. This is one I just picked up at a junk store. Little thing, if you look in the soundle, it says made in West Germany. And I found it at a junk store for $7. It didn't have any strings and had a broken tuner. So all I did was go to CB Gitty. I get their chrome ukulele tuners. These are not guitar tuners. These are uke tuners. I changed up the tuners. It plays great. And now I have another uke that I probably don't need. You know, actually, let's do one thing weird in this little broadcast. Who wants this uke? Who has something really weird to trade for it? I'm looking for a really strange instrument of some sort. I don't need cigar box guitars. Trust me, I own many. But if anyone is in a mood for a West German ukulele, you know how to contact me. If you know how to contact me, that's how you contact me. Let me know what weird instrument you may have. So, getting back to this, ukuleles are kind of small, and I like getting them. I get junk ones, like I'm about to work on this one. I found this at another junk store. It was missing a fretboard, so of course I went to CB Gitty. I got one of their fretboards, and I'm going to be putting that on and getting it set up. Another one I got in a trade one time. This is like the old Gretsch campfire ukulele. I don't even know if this is repairable. I may need to put a new top and back on this. Boom. We'll see. But I enjoy ukes, but all these ukes are always so tiny, and my hands are always cramped, and I always mess up whatever I'm playing. You know, I just can't get my fingers on. Well, tenor leles are awesome. Here's a soprano. Soprano uke, tenor lele uke. The tenor lele has a 17-inch scale. The neck's also nice and wide. I have fat fingers. I'm just, you know. It just feels perfect on as I play it. I always had trouble playing ukulele. My hands just fit perfectly on them. Let me see, I've got a slap back on there. CB Gitty came out with these kits earlier this year, and the kit does not have all this other stuff. This was part of my special build, you know. But the tenor lele is, you know, traditional cigar box looking, and it just really sounds great. It also has a piezo pickup, which is how I was running it through my guitar pedal board. And I've been experimenting with some delays and things like that. But the kit itself is easy. You could make it on basically your dining room table if you needed to. I modified a few things. The neck, I rounded the back of the neck. And as you can tell, I've modified it with a lot of other things. Now let me give you the full scoop on this ukulele. I built the kit, which was easy to build. But then all my troubles started. I wanted to make like a sunburst body where I wanted to take brown paint over a light wood finish to give it a nice sunburst. Well, I tried that and I screwed that up. So I kept going. And I thought maybe if I painted a Hawaiian scene on here, like the old Harmony ukuleles of the 1940s and 50s, where they stenciled an old Hawaiian scene on there. Well, I tried to, using carbon paper and a few other things. Unfortunately, I had put polyurethane on the body already, and then I started doing the Hawaiian scene. Well, the carbon paper never held, and I could never get a good enough image. I'm not a good enough artist to even paint it freehand. So I threw that idea out the window. Then I put the ukulele down and walked away from it for a while, because when a project's driving you nuts, sometimes you just gotta walk away. But then I came back and I decided to relic the front, which I just took sandpaper and aged it all. And I aged the sides of it there too, just to give it that worn look. And what did I do? Oh, I added these shoe stretchers, but I added them the opposite way, and they were the original wood color. And then I found these wings at Hobby Lobby. It was from an old sign. It was on sale. And I saw the wings, and I thought, man, if I could just take those apart, put it on there, it would have a cool look. And the cross came with it, so I put that on there. Well, once I finished with the wings and the shoes, the way it was, I was pretty proud of it, and I took some photos and put it on Facebook, and about 17 people commented saying, that looks like a turkey. And I looked at it, and they were right. It looked like a turkey. So I took it, and I put it away again. I came back weeks later. Actually, this was after I was in the hospital. I came back, and I had tried to add legs to it. I wanted it to stand up. I moved the shoe pieces around. I painted the shoe pieces black and gave them an aged look. And I was going to have it so that there was two table legs sticking here, and a back one to prop in the back, but that didn't work either. So finally, I just took the legs off. I have it the way it is. This is how it ends up. Knowing me, I will probably still work on the art of it. Oh, I forgot to show you the headstock too. This is an old WD-40 lid that was put on there, and a pin of a little Victorian girl. And I put a little lace to go with that. It just all goes with this whole design. This, what do you call this? Victorian, steampunkish, I don't know. It is what it is. But I'm happy where it is right now. And quite honestly, I'm even more happy with the way it plays and the way it sounds. So, oh, I almost forgot. As I was doing the Hawaiian theme, trying to come up with stencil ideas, I kept going back to this book, and I wanted to recommend this book for you guys who collect books on instrument making and things like this. This is an interesting one. It's called Cowboy Guitars, and in it, it shows, I'll turn it around here, all those old stencil guitars from the 40s and 50s, the cowboy guitars. Unfortunately, it sucks as telling the story. It is basically just a reference. Each of the guitars have catalog numbers, when they came out, yada yada yada, but you never hear about the people that came up with the idea for these guitars and the artwork and the artists behind them. But it's just one of those interesting books that you can find on Amazon or elsewhere. Cowboy Guitars by Steve Evans and Ron Middlebrook. Okay, getting back to this. So I went through all these things. I finally now have this uke. Let me tell you, first of all, as a kit, I recommend it. As a ukulele to play, I recommend it. It's not like other ukuleles where you're holding it. If you're a bigger guy like me, I want an instrument I can hold and I can just, basically wail away. A lot of fun. So I know I have a good instrument when it starts inspiring songs. And the other day I was messing with this and I came up with a cool riff, and then I needed lyrics. Well, Shane Spiel's Snake Oil Band has more than one songwriter. It's not just me. Rick Stepina, my drummer, is always sending me lyrics. He'll be at work, he'll get bored at work, and all of a sudden come up with a whole set of songs. Well, I came up with a cool riff, so I went through all of Rick's lyrics, and I'm going to give you a rough draft of something I'm working on. This is called Will Someone Call a Doctor? And let me put a little slapback on there. That gives it that echo. Bump, bump. So I have a couple digital delay pedals. Let me see if I can't take this down here. There's my pedal board I'm using right now. And there's 3 delay pedals. 1, 2, 3. The first one has a long repeated. Second one is just the slapback. And the third one is more long repeated. That's the one I did at the very beginning. For this one, I'm going to use the slapback. And how do I choose which delays and such? I just buy different ones from time to time. And if it works, great. If not, I trade it with someone. I'm always trying different things. A pedal board is a living, breathing entity. So, let's see if I can't get a new song out of this Crazy Angel tenor Lely kit from CB Gitty. All right. Somebody call a doctor. Can't take this pain no more. Baby said she's leaving, and she walked right out my door. Somebody call the doctor. Oh, my heart's on the floor. Somebody call a barkeep. I need a drink to calm my nerves. A double shot of vodka and beer is what he served. Somebody call a barkeep. Ooh, getting drunk's what I deserve. Won't somebody get a lawyer? Hot water's what I'm in. Seems I get in trouble. I spent the night in the pen. Ooh, somebody call a lawyer. Oh Lord, I'm sitting in this pen again. Call my mama, it appears I need a ride. Standing here in handcuffs, got a bailiff at my side. Somebody call my mama, Lord knows mama tried. Well, somebody call a doctor, can't take this pain. Baby said she's leaving, she walked right out my door. Somebody call a doctor. Ooh, my heart back on the floor. There you go. There's a rough draft. That's got a lot of work to go with that song. And quite honestly, I'll probably be playing a cigar box guitar in concert when I'm doing that. I'm not sure how a uke would go with my band. But there you go. You got yourself a new song from Shane Spiel, or in the works. Trust me, a lot of work to go. This Crazy Angel tenor Lely. CB Gitty, thank you so much for this kit. And hopefully it'll give you guys a little bit of inspiration to try different things yourself. These shoe stretchers, adding there, nice little side for your arm. You know, you could just throw all different kind of junk on here to get a cool folk art look. So there you go. My name is Shane Spiel. And if you want more inspiration, you have my book, Making Poor Man's Guitars. CB Gitty has it. You can find it elsewhere. Making Poor Man's Guitars. All right, you guys take care, and I will see you next week. That's what the deal has been with Spiel. And that guy up there. Don't ask.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you, Shane, for putting that together. All sorts of good stuff going on in there. Making sure his coiffure is properly arranged. What about, Shane was talking about cowboy guitars and different things like that. And this is a song that sounds like a cowboy song, although I don't think old Woody was ever really a cowboy himself, but he was definitely a traveling person. So
Well, I thought about it because I remember Steve Neff and I jamming on some songs, and I think this was one of them.
all right, I'm ready.
I'm not entirely sure.
Many a month has come and gone since I wandered from my home in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Many a page of life has turned, many a lesson I have learned, and I feel like in those hills I still belong. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, riding my pony on the reservation in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, cowboy's life is my occupation in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. But as I sit here today, many miles I am away from the place I rode my pony through the road, where the oak and blackjack trees kiss the playful prairie breeze in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, riding my pony on the reservation in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, cowboy's life is an occupation in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Now as I turn life's page to the land of the great Osage, in those Oklahoma hills where I was born, where the black oil rolls and flows and the snow white cotton grows, in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, riding my pony on the reservation, in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, cowboy's life is my occupation, in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Said way down yonder in the Indian Nation, riding my pony on the reservation, in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, cowboy's life is my occupation, in those Oklahoma hills where I was born.
All right.
That's for you, Steve.
Yeah, he said he loved the time he played it with you and still plays it often.
Yep.
So good stuff. All right. Well, here we are. We had one more video. Play it. It's 4 minutes 10 seconds. It's Guido Torres and his band at Cigar Blues from Chile, playing a CBG made by Rusty Taylor, Wicked Bucker by Marty Tauber, and all sorts of good stuff. So let's have a listen.
a cigar al revés.
Hey, we're back. Thank you to Scar Blues there for sharing it. Well, for Rusty Taylor for sharing it with us, and then to the band there for giving us permission to play it. Some good stuff going on. And you, good people, have squandered yet another perfectly good hour watching and listening to the Gitty Gang. So now that we're into the third half of today's show, let's play ourselves out, shall we?
Cigar Station.